I like BMWs, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that the condition is probably terminal, starting with the 2003 BMW ZHP I bought in Texas, and then continuing on with my current daily driver, a 2008 E92. But this car, the E39 M5, does not need any introduction. Introduced in 1998 at the Geneva Motor Show with a 394 horsepower V8, blah blah blah, nobody cares. Like I said, you know all this already. This car needs no introduction. But maybe mine does. This car is beat. It hasn't seen the soft side of a microfiber in ages, so we first gave it a quick wash to really show off the dents, mismatched front clip repaint, and the smashed rocker panel. But while we're doing that, I need to thank WatchJRGo for finding me this car in the first place, and hope that this blessing doesn't turn into a curse on my wallet. The previous owner of this car had it for the last 6 years or so, and after the air conditioning and driver window regulator failed, the inconvenience began to outweigh the joy, and it sat mostly unused for the last year or so. Eventually, the need for garage space overcame the joy of a static E39 display piece in the garage, and the owner wanted it gone to the tune of a mere $4,000. When I posted about buying this car in the M539 Restorations Facebook group, I got a lot of the same comments. Is the engine blown? Does it have a salvage title? Surely it's just a rebadged 540i. Does it even run? Well, it's a clean title, genuine M5 with an engine that not only runs, but has service records going back to 2011. Unfortunately, it's a pre-2001 car, so it does burn oil to the tune of 1 quart every 2,000 miles, but hey, you don't get a driving experience like this for free. Off camera, John Ross and I got it on a lift and found the following list of issues that are keeping this thing from being a usable beater. Rear wheel speed sensors, rear upper control arms, front lower control arms, front steering links, rear shocks, rear sway bar end links. It has codes for the ECU cooling fan and the secondary air injection system. Driver window regulator is broken. Gauge cluster needs a pixel fix. It needs motor mounts and the ubiquitous BMW oil level sender issues. But there's an even shorter list of things that were annoying me specifically, so Tyler and I picked up some parts locally and headed up to Newton to see if we could fix those things.
Who left their refrigerator in the bay? So the expensive part with this thing is probably going to end up actually being the cosmetics, because as you see, we've got a big dent here. I've gotten a hold of a couple PDR guys. They said this is just too much. So I'm going to go to a traditional body shop and see what my options are. There is an E39 at LKQ right now, so I might be able to get a less damaged door, but then they'd have to swap over the shadow line trim, repaint it, all the rest of that stuff. Honestly, the rest of the car is pretty straight. We've got some fading on the rear bumper, some plastics that are a little messed up. M5 badge is shot. It's gonna need tint. I'll definitely get ceramic tint on this thing, just to help preserve the interior a little bit better by blocking out all the UV. Everyone was telling me that just these rear wheels are worth what I paid for the car. It's not my favorite BMW wheel design, but I guess it's the offset and the width that really makes it. A little bit of rust happening here on the fuel door, and then a lot more rust happening here on the rear of this rocker. But that is not the worst thing to happen to this rocker, because it looks like someone went and bounced over a curb a little bit. I can't blame them too much. I did the exact same thing in my E92 literally 3 days ago. And my Corvette like a week after I bought it. But those have plastic rockers that can be fixed for about $1,000. This is gonna need, I mean, to fix this and the rust, probably just cut off the rocker and replace it, which you can still buy these rockers brand new, apparently. Moving around the rest of the car, it's just more paint damage. Front bumper's a little cracked, headlights in need of restoration, grille missing. M5s have unique grills. They're larger than the non-M5s. And of course, anything that's not genuine is going to fit like garbage. So needs a full respray, needs a door, needs a rocker panel. And it's like $6,000. Mechanically though, it's really not all that dire. We even got a bunch of spare parts, which I have in here with all of my stuff. We've got a coil, we've got lug nuts, we've got stuff that I bought, wheel speed sensors, touch-up paint, an oil drain plug. I bought lift struts because, yep. And what's all this stuff? Washer pump, another washer pump. That would be for the windshield sprayers and headlight sprayers, 2 different pumps. What do we have here? Level sensor, some headlight restoration spray. Oh, that clearly doesn't work. New gas cap for some reason. And also, something I've never seen in person before, BMW oil holder. Now, I thought this was a really dumb thing. I've seen them for sale on FCP Euro. I had no idea what the point was. It holds a quart of oil. In this case, actual BMW 10W60, which is very encouraging that it's 10W60 in here, because it's not what BMW recommends for these, but it's what everyone has found actually leads to the best engine longevity. I think from the factory they spec like 040 or something, or 540. So yeah, quart of 1060, which we're gonna pour in there. Oh, it also comes with a funnel and a glove and a wipe. But also the actual purpose of it is not just to hold that stuff, but it's got Velcro on it so it doesn't slide around the trunk. Very cool. I'm buying one of these for the E46. I mean, it does have the oil storage area in the engine bay, but you know, whatever. Interior is black leather, actually in really, really good shape. Of course, the leather seats are hard as a rock. And the driver window regulator, well, the previous owner said he's put 4 regulators in 6 years. So, cool. Everything else, though, is shockingly good in there. It does need the pixels on the display fixed. There's some speakers that are having issues. And AC does not work for whatever reason. So, need to look into that. Where's Madonna? You've never seen that ad though? Famous E39 M5 ad with Madonna being chauffeured. I actually used it in the beginning of this video. So for those of you who hadn't seen it, if you're watching this video, you've seen it now.
I started off by pulling out the DSP unit to take a look at and hopefully fix the front right speaker channels by touching up some solder joints. I was told that these go bad frequently, just cold solder joints, or they stress crack over time, so we took it out and took a look at the board and touched up some areas that looked kind of suspect, and then Tyler opened up my OBD2 cable for this car and bridged 2 pins that were necessary for me to recode the ECU, while I had the simple yet very satisfying task of replacing the rear trunk struts. Shout out Watch Share Go. This is probably his favorite thing to do to any car ever, and I took that from him somehow, I guess. I don't know, man. The trunk stays open now. It's great. Now that I have a trunk that stays open, I'm working on reading out an image of this car's DME, just using BMW Flash from bimmersoftware.com for that. And the reason for this is to fix the check engine light, because one of the codes is for the secondary air injection, which is a very common issue on these cars. Unfortunately, it's not really fixable, so instead I'm just going to delete it by tuning the car, as you do. So I just finished using the BMW Flash tool to get a partial read of the DME and then modifying it in the MSS5X binary modification tool. It was about $200 for a license for this, and I was able to turn the sport mode to memory, turn off the speed limiter, and also turn off SAP DTCs and rear O2 sensor DTCs. So effectively doing the same as like an EU2 tune for an E46. Can also change throttle curves and servotronic curves. So in comfort mode, the servotronic assists this much below 0 kilometers an hour and gets heavier as you go up. And then in sport mode, it's heavier. So that's kind of nifty. But I just wanted to get rid of my code, so that's what I did. And since it's a partial read, this should flash pretty much instantly. So if there we go, flash binary. I should probably plug it into the car before I do this, but in the meantime, Tyler is doing things. Hi. Oh, did you get that welded?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. So we got the broken off tab welded back onto the speaker here, got the door card off, and this is what fell out of the window regulator. Actually, this one needs to come out of here so we can unhook the negative cable off the battery, so I can take out the airbag. And then
hopefully get the window regulator out. It's a very interesting window regulator design. It actually clamps onto the window instead of bolting to it. Makes sense, I guess. How's wheel speed sensor things going?
Well, I can see your problem.
It looks like my cat ate it.
Crispy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That will do it.
Yep. So hopefully they look original. So
that will do it.
We'll see. Well, we'll see how easy it is to get them out of the knuckle.
Yeah, out of the bore.
Yeah.
Well,
because that always sucks.
Yep. I'm gonna go do something that also sucks and keep playing with this window regulator over here. Why don't you laugh at my jokes?
Because they're bad and you should feel bad.
Oh, hey, but my calipers say M on them.
Yeah.
Unlike that garbage E46 you drive, it's a fake M car.
It's a baby M3, all right.
It's the gentleman's M3. Are these original sack stampers in the back?
Yeah,
they sure look like it.
They appear to be.
So it's got Bilstein B6s in the front and socks in the back. So I guess I'll buy a couple of rear Bilsteins.
Steen. Is that like the Bernstein Bears?
The Shut up.
Me when the.
I think my window regulator is a free fix. I put this back on the slider, put the cable back through it, and clamped it to the glass. But when I moved the glass down, I actually had to push it. It didn't just kind of slide down on its own. And if you look at these, they clamp onto the glass like this. I think what happened was, new regulator was installed, owner rolled the window up and down a few times, and then it just popped off the bottom of the glass. I think if I lube the inside of these window tracks here with some Shin-Etsu grease, I think we'll be good to go. Okay, let's test my theory. Oh no, my radio presets. Okay, just gonna go up a little, down a little.
Time to lube it.
Yeah, I think lubrication is all it really requires. So it turns out these are adjusters. They need to be touching the window and adjusted to make sure that the window stays parallel with the rail as it goes up and down. So now that looks an awful lot like a closed window. So now I think we can put the thing back on, the majigger, the dealio, the guy, the vapor barrier. Well, the door panel is on, and the amplifier is reinstalled. CD changer put back. Give that a close. Battery is hooked back up. I love how it's an M battery cover, because motorsport battery? I don't know. Now, we got to put a quart of oil in it, and the DME image is a partial flash, so it should take like 30 seconds. Ooh, it's going. Ooh, it's going. I did also learn that apparently you can short together two pins in the round connector up there, and that will let you read all of the modules from the OBD2 connector. On these cars, apparently on the pre-facelift ones, only the DME is accessible through that connector. Also, let's just make sure. Oh, wonderful. I can't wait to get these retinted. This is disgusting. And then, of course, there's the pixel issue. I'm not sure if I'll attempt that on my own or pay someone else to do it. It looks fiddly, and I'm not a huge fan of fiddly stuff. Oh, it's done. Okay.
That was a real difficult task.
Yeah.
You know, opening the cap and
You got it done, though.
putting the. I know.
I was busy doing other stuff. How was the wheel speed sensor replacement? Pretty easy?
Yeah, not bad. They The passenger side came right out. The driver's side, I just had to pry it a little bit.
Nice.
So,
Cool.
easy peasy.
All right, well, let's get this charger out of here and get on the ground, fire it up.
Wait, it's done?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I said, it was a fast flash. Moment of truth. No.
Pardon?
Yay! What finally worked? Oh, hey, look at that. No, look, no errors. I mean, no lights. Sick. Yay, we did it! What finally got it started?
The Gulu pack.
Oh, heck yeah.
Superior.
Link in the description. Best jump box I've ever had. Well, I was going to be thrilled because we had no errors, but my traction control, brake, and ABS lights just lit up again, so more diagnosis is needed there, though before it was throwing a code for that wheel speed sensor, so wonder what's up. However, my speedometer is working now and continuing to work after the lights came on, and cruise control works, which is amazing. Unfortunately, those speakers are still dead, so I'll probably have to pop off that door panel and do a little check-in. It's a little suspicious that nothing in that door is working. I don't quite believe it. And what was the other thing? I don't know. Check engine light is still off, so that's good. And window. Oh yeah, it's much quieter in here now that the window's rolled all the way up. Oh, it's dinging at me.
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold out. It's under 37 degrees. We must alert the people. So, some progress made. Not quite as much as I'd like. I might get home and bridge those two connections under the hood so I can just sit in the warmth with my tablet and pull codes instead of having to go under the hood and hook up a round connector every time. Especially because I think with the top done, the round connector also requires an auxiliary 12-volt power supply. Gross. So, I'll definitely want to do that.
Make sure you put your battery charger on it.
Yeah, no kidding. Apparently the battery is very unhealthy in this car. So yeah, I'll probably stick the battery maintainer on it when I get home too, except the Porsche Cayenne is currently using it, so that's fun. But, before we do all that, there is one more person to go see. Hello!
Hello. I hear you need something
I
of
do.
mine that I used to use.
Wow, it's blue.
But yes, it is a blue bus. These are, well, they used to be really hard to get.
Yeah, they're actually...
Apparently they're still really hard to get, but you know.
Are they?
Are they? I don't know. I heard that I saw on the website they were like still shipping. It's going to be like a little while before the current
Oh,
thing
they're
of orders.
back-ordered? Oh,
yeah.
I bet the chip shortage absolutely ruined
Yes.
them.
But this will allow you to keep your same head unit and play your phone. So
Actual
it's
music.
a Bluetooth interface for the oldest like head unit system in the world.
Yeah.
But it does work. It worked on my Z4 perfectly. I was going to use it on my E39, but I don't drive it as much as you're going to drive this. So, well, there you go.
Yay! I've been absolutely dying listening to
Terrestrial radio,
terrestrial
antenna. Ew.
I've got 5 I did figure out how to set presets. I've got 5 presets, and I'll just as soon as there's an ad, I'll go through them. And at least 3 times I've driven the car where it's just ads on all 5
Yep.
channels at the same time.
That's
and then it'll start. One of them will start playing a song, and it'll be something I hate.
terrestrial
So,
radio is pretty much the worst.
Wichita especially.
Yeah.
Like there's again 5 good stations. Everything else is garbage.
Yep, and then like you said, you have to cycle through them, and every once in a while you run into one of those situations where everybody's playing an ad because, well, terrestrial radio is dying because of places like this.
But have you heard about Spangle's new bacon fries or whatever?
Yeah, the local commercials here are so obnoxious
so-
because
every-
the owner of the company insists on doing it, and she
Yeah.
has a speech impediment.
So
it's distracting.
Yeah.
like every time you're like,
well,
"Ugh."
every city has that one commercial that everyone knows about.
Yes.
And like Rustiak.
for sure.
Come on.
Yeah,
But
but at least they hired a professional.
They
Like I said,
did.
the
I
owner
wish
of the
they
company
didn't.
didn't need to do the commercials. And in fact, she hasn't needed to do them for the last 20 years. but here we are.
Gotta stay involved with your businesses.
For
or
sure.
Something.
Well,
Okay.
enjoy the tunes.
Yeah, it is cold out.
Yes.
I'll see you later.
All right.
Blue Bus is pretty sick. Like we said, it's this little blue 3D printed box that plugs into power and digital audio in the back of the BMW and gives me Bluetooth through the absolutely quaint 4x3 navigation head unit. It also works with the widescreen head unit and the non-screen head units. Okay, so I'm at the computer on FCP Euro. I added a oil level sensor, rear control arm kit, the front control arm that's bad, motor mounts, lower oil pan gasket, steering link kit, and rear shocks, and it came to $1,300, and that's before tires and before anything cosmetic. So hit that subscribe button so I can actually afford this nightmare that I've gotten myself into. Also, huge thank you to Ted with Blue Bus. I had a few issues with the unit, not anything that was his fault, just my issues. My radio's a bit old and having some issues, and he helped me diagnose it. He also helped me get the firmware updated. Just phenomenal support in general with Blue Bus. 10 out of 10, very highly recommend. It's an open source project as well, so if so inclined, you can go poke around the source code. You can even build the thing yourself if you want to order the PCBs and do so. Very, very cool project. I absolutely love these sorts of niche enthusiasts with very high technical ability and drive to, give this sort of thing back to the community. Because, I've got the lithium swap in my Honda Insight, which is the same sort of thing. Somebody with extreme amounts of dedication building an incredible product. And what's really impressive about Blue Bus is it's not the only product like this in the market, but it is the best, even out of much larger companies that have brought similar products to market. Blue Bus just smashes them. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go sell my body for money, or